What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Teddy, and if you guys have been enjoying Wuthering Waves just as much as me, here are a couple tips and tricks to help you out starting out the game. The higher your union level goes, the more soul phases that you can unlock, allowing you to do other things in the game. This can easily be done by doing any of your main story quests, which will give you a lot of your experience. Other quests can be done like the companion quests, which also give a lot of experience, and side quests. Continuing with the quests, when you log in, always check to see what dailies you have available. This is a great way to earn bonus materials for leveling up those resonators, echoes, or even weapons. Be warned, there is a cap, and claiming more will not give you more bonuses. This does reset every day. You can check to see how many hours are left up here at the top. Another tip I have is to make sure you're always checking the event tab. The event tab will have extra little bonuses that are given out, activities that will give extra bonuses or help you explore around the world, and will show you more endgame content. If you guys pulled a character and you really don't know how it plays, you can test out the character in the character tutorials here. Completing them will give you extra little bonuses too for just trying it out. So I highly suggest going through, doing them, and seeing which ones you want to pull for. All the characters here are going to be on the character banner, so for the next character banner we will get to test them out down here. Character stories can also be found here, not to mention other activities around the world too. So if you're still confused on what to do, take a look at the event tabs and it'll help you out. It'll even show you any other goals that you have, like your current union level or just other little bonuses for the game being new. Another thing to take a look at when you first log in is going to be the Pioneer podcast. In here is like Wuthering Waves Season Pass. Earning experience will complete each step. Each step will earn you more rewards. The higher you go, the more rewards you can earn in order to earn experience. This can be done during dailies, weekly highlights, and seasonal specials that do last up until the season ends. There is a weekly cap on it, so make sure you don't try to claim anything just in case you're at that limit. If you claim anything after, you will not earn the experience. Completing this will earn you your choice of one of these weapons. You can unlock the insider channel here by purchasing it. It will unlock even more items if you choose to pay money for it. And be sure to check your mail too. They do give out a lot of items that are free and will help, like pools, astrite, and various other things. The next tip is going to be with the store. Jumping in the store, you can buy Lunite. Lunite is going to be the currency used to exchange for astrite. Lunite can be exchanged at a 1-to-1 ratio. In here, you can buy special little bundles using your Lunite, not to mention you do get free bundles for hitting certain union levels, so make sure to check them out. Moving down, you can exchange the Aftershocked Coral. Aftershocked Coral can be obtained by obtaining a duplicate resonator or weapon. Oscillated Coral can be exchanged for other items to help level up those weapons and resonators. This can be obtained by doing any standard or premium pull, doesn't matter if it's the weapon banner or the character banner. Lastly, we have the title. This will require the astrite to exchange for either a premium character pull, premium weapon pull, or your standard pull. Lastly, doing the endgame content like the Tower of Diversity or the simulation training, special points can be exchanged for even more rewards, like a phantom echo down here, or the easier to get phantoms down here using the simulation training. This is one of the quickest and easiest methods to get one of your extremely overpowered echoes. Another tip is to be sure you're exploring around, doing all the challenges, finding chests, and everything that the map has to offer. You earn rewards for exploring more of the map and finding more chests, challenges, things like that. These can unlock higher levels, which can give you more experience and other materials that will help out with leveling up. I advise at least getting up to Pioneer level 1 so you have the ability to start using the loot mapper. Now, once you have the loot mapper unlocked, you can easily open it by hitting tab and selecting it. This can be used by hitting T and it will show you any available chest in the area. These can be removed and placed down in any other location that you choose. After you guys have been exploring and found some of your Sonus caskets, you can come over here to Chempy the Relic Merchant. He will allow you to turn in those caskets for even better rewards. They range from astrite, breakthrough items for Rover, and other materials to level up your resonator or weapons. Again, there is a max level, so once you find them all and you're done, there is no more. My next tip is going to be if you guys are having trouble trying to find any of those materials needed for crafting, all the materials have their location that they can be bought, how they can be gathered, and where they can be gathered out on the map. Now, if you guys are buying from a shop, there is a daily reset on all of the flowers or materials that can be bought, so keep that in mind when trying to plan out which materials you're trying to buy and what item you're trying to craft. Also, it will require the shell coin, so make sure you have a lot before you go broke. There are shops over here in the Tiger's Maw mine that I suggest you open up first using the story quest that will lead you out here. Unlocking the Tiger's Maw ore will allow you to level up those weapons a lot easier and supply more materials to upgrade those resonators or the weapons. Not to mention, you do have a choice of 1 4-star weapon. The Tiger Maw ore needed to buy anything from the shop looks like this and can be found at the bottom of the mine. Next tip I have is when you're out running around the world, gather everything that you can find. If you're a usual here on the channel, you'll know I love gathering and crafting, and without having to buy anything and waste those precious coins, it's easier to go out in the world and find all the materials. Stock up everything that you possibly can and have it waiting for when you need them. The next tip on the list is going to be using all of those materials. There's a nice little crafting wing over here in Jinzhou. Here, potions can be made, items can be constructed, and items can be purified to a higher grade, allowing for higher level resonators. Weapons also can be made too. This is why you should start stocking up all those materials that you have. Now we have cooking. Cooking is just like with your weapon crafting or the synthesizing, although you will have to buy or find the recipes required, and certain people can make better dishes. When someone can make a better dish, it will alert you here. You can easily click on this, and it will tell you who has a chance to produce a special dish when cooking. These dishes will be blue and have better stats than the original base. The better they're proficient, the more dishes that can be made. Ingredients can also be made too, which doesn't have any proficiency. Now, cooking will raise up your chef level. Looking down here, you can see all the rewards and better buff food for helping take down those bosses easier. Once you get all the proficiency needed, all you have to do is hit the promotion. Now, one thing about proficiency is once you hit the max proficiency for dish on the one resonator, you will have to switch off to a different one to continue accruing the proficiency. It will not continue going after their max. So make sure you don't lose out on that. The next tip I have is don't waste any of your astrite on the normal pulls. Save all of your astrite for either the premium character pool or going for the premium weapon pools. Not only can the premium give you the same thing as the normal standard, but it will have a chance of giving you whatever the character banner is or the weapon banner. So what do you do when you get those duplicates? Well, simple. For those resonators, coming down into the resonance chain will allow you to apply the duplicate resonator to get more stats. Each S rank will have a different bonus that can be applied, making this resonator extremely overpowered, so it's never a bad thing to get another duplicate. The same thing does apply to weapons by going down to the tune option here. If you have the same duplicate, they can be merged together to increase the stat that the weapon gives. This will cost the shell coins, so make sure you have some on hand just in case. Now, when it comes to which characters you should focus on building a team, I suggest going with your main DPS, followed by a secondary that'll help out with buffing the main attacker, and a healer. The free healer like Bozzy or Verena will do and will help buff up the rest of the team, allowing for those bosses to be burned down easily. Mix and match with the characters, try to find out which ones are best for you and which ones you can get working. Of course, you can look online to find out which teams are rated better and what everyone else thinks, but me personally, I'm going to stick with these guys and slowly start to build them up before focusing on my next team. A couple tips that I have for getting prepared for the end game content is to focus on 3 of your resonators at a time. Unfortunately, you will only be able to focus on either ascending the character, with just how much the materials cost, it can spread yourself way too thin focusing on all of your resonators at the same time. This applies to your weapons with upgrading, even your echoes, and lastly, your fortes. Having a good solid team will help you start taking down endgame content. Now, what's endgame content? Your endgame content is going to be the Tower of Adversity or doing your weekly challenge here. Of course, doing all of your bosses and collecting the materials is endgame at some point, but mainly the Tower of Adversity is what you're going to be focusing on at the end. The next tip is going to be centered around those echoes that we can find around the world. These add a sane amount of stats onto whatever resonator that they are applied to. Not to mention they will give an echo skill if applied in the top, and a Sonata effect for having 2 or 5 of the same element echo. Each echo can be upgraded to a max level. The higher the grade, the higher the level, and once a max level is reached, they will unlock their tunings. The tuning is where you can increase the stats that are given out for the echo, meaning you can hit insane amounts of stats for each resonator just from the echoes alone. Each echo will have a cost on it with a total cost. Everyone starting out should only be able to do 8 at a time, which will increase with your union level, and the setup that I'm going for has a 4-star at the top, 2 3s, and 2 1-stars to equal out that full 12 total cost. One thing to keep in mind with the echoes, not all of them are the same. Each one will have different little stats that are applied to them, so keep an eye out for whichever stats that you're mainly looking for. The main focus is going to be the first stat at the top, followed by the second one. So taking a look at here at the top, this is a really, really good roll, so I'm going to keep it, but these are the type of stats that you should be looking for if you are going for a main DPS. But if you do not get the right one, just keep going out and finding them. So that leads into the next tip, how to find those echoes out there in the wild. Of course, you can go running around trying to find them, but if you open up your databank, hit the Sonata gallery, you can choose which Sonata effect that you want to go for. They will have all the monsters listed. You can easily select one, see what it drops, and hitting the detect down here will show you on the map. This will stay highlighted until killed and then pop up again on the map, so you guys can go out and constantly kill the same echo until you get the right one that you want. So if you don't get the right one, re-roll and keep trying like that. In order to start getting those better echoes, you will have to level up your databank. In order to level up your databank, you will have to go out there and catch more echoes and higher rarity echoes. It's just like Pokemon. The more you catch, the higher level you get and the higher rarity that is available to you with a max of 20. At 20, you will have the highest 5-star drop rate available in the game, though you will have to unlock Soul 3 Phase 5 in order to get it. Now, I suggest waiting until you get at least Data Bank 15 in order to start unlocking your yellow grade to level up any of those echoes, or you could possibly be losing out on the materials. Now, unfortunately, the enemies are limited, so you can't keep farming them, but you can jump into anyone else's world if you have friends, and you can farm their echoes with them. So if you guys have friends, jump in, or, meet someone new and start farming those echoes with them. It's a great way to socialize and try to get any of those echoes that you need to. Another tip is to open up your tutorials. You do get 1 astrite for each topic that you go through. It's a nice way to earn a little bit of astrite on the side. That goes for all of the achievements that can be unlocked, going through the exploration, the quest, not to mention battles, and also dialogue will unlock more of the astrite that can be obtained. And well, come on, we all like getting 100% complete, right? The last tip on this list is going to be with the very rare red ord and phantom echoes that can be found around the world. They do pose a great challenge and can one-shot you, so if you really want to challenge your resonators, go on the hunt and look for these. They can one-shot you, so be very careful. They're worth going out and doing. You can bring a friend or hop into a friend's world to go co-op them together. So if you're struggling, just keep trying. It's a great challenge to see if your resonators are really hitting hard. Now, those are just a couple tips and tricks to help you get started with Wuthering Waves. If you want to see more Wuthering Waves content, be sure to let me know down in the comments below and tell me which tip or trick helped you out the most. If you want to see more Wuthering Wave content, be sure to subscribe, turn on all those notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep gathering out there, everyone.